is the story of those of us whose skin has been kissed by nature's sun. Dr. Patricia Newton was at the Proctor Conference in Birmingham this past week, and she dealt with trauma and how trauma, watch this, can be so devastating, unsettling, and upsetting that trauma will literally alter your brain cells. And right there in the frontal lobe where you make your decisions, the trauma from the past will dictate what you do in the present. And a lot of us don't understand that trauma can also be transmitted cellularly from one generation to the other. And so some of you are wondering, after you do something that reflected that you were stuck on stupid and had missed exit after exit off of Fool's Freeway, and you're wondering, what the hell was I thinking? It's because there's something that happened back then that is still jacking with you right now. Preach, Freddie Haynes, I'm on my way. And watch this, my sisters and brothers. I share this as the intro to this wonderful passage in the book of Revelation. Why? Because understand, the people of God are catching hell. It is troublesome, terrifying, and traumatic. They are catching hell at the hand of the Emperor Domitian. Domitian, my sisters and brothers, has decided to use the marginalized as a tool in his political agenda. It's always a trip when the emperor of the empire decides that they're going to declare war on the most marginalized, and as a consequence, chaos ensues. And that's what's going on in our text, because note with me, in chapter 21, it says something that arrested my attention that you've got to understand the full meaning of. It says, I saw a new heaven and a new earth. Watch this. And there was no more sea. Stop right there. There was no more SEA. Why was that important? It's because in biblical antiquity, just as what happened to the Norwegian cruise ship, the breakaway, my sisters and brothers, chaos was something that caused great anxiety and caused great fear for those in the first century of the common era. What am I saying? They were deathly afraid of the sea. They were deathly afraid of the ocean. Why? Because they equated the ocean, here's your shout, with instability and chaos. And so when John says there was no more sea, it is in a real sense a shout that in the new heaven and new earth there will be no more instability and no more chaos. Because if you go through chaos, it's traumatic, and the chaos that you go through, when you go through it, after you get through it, it may not be through with you. Preach, Freddie Haynes, I'm about to do that. And so watch this, my sisters and brothers. They were in a chaotic situation, and in this chaotic situation of persecution that was political, in this chaotic situation of economic extraction and exploitation, in this chaotic situation of social marginalization, they are going through it. And while going through it, John wants to make sure that what they are going through is actually through with them. I gotta shout you, because y'all missing your shout. Here is what the text is saying. The text is letting us know that John is on Patmos, and there on Patmos, he's there. Why? Because Domitian again has declared war on citizens in the empire who are marginalized. Isn't it jacked up when someone in power decides, because of how small of spirit they are and how much they don't read, that in order to build themselves up, they've got to go after those who are marginalized. And so they will rip children out of the arms of their families at the border. They will declare war on who they want to declare war on in their own country. Has it not tripped y'all out that Jussie Smollett was the recipient of, watch this, a tweet at the hand of 46 minus 1? But do you notice that 46 minus 1 did not tweet a word about the Coast Guard lieutenant who built up a cache of weaponry and was out, watch this, to destroy and kill those who did not agree with the Trump political philosophy? Now, Trump didn't tweet about that, but he got a whole lot got to say about Jussie Smollett. And please, America, would you quit acting so self-righteous and hypocritical and act like this is the first time that someone has ever cried wolf? Why ain't y'all said nothing about Permit Patty calling the police on young kids who are trying to sell water? Why ain't you said nothing about that woman at Yale University who called the police on a black woman who's a student there? Why ain't you said nothing about the people in...
We'll be right back. Let's pray it comes back smoothly. I'm going to make this tea.